Hello and welcome to another episode of the podcast for the recently deceased. I'm Nate Roberts.
I am Rodney Godek. How we doing, Nate?
I'm good. I'm good. Glad to be back in in the chair,
Mm-hmm.
ready to uh, ready to talk about Russell Crowe. As I as
I
like I'm
love
all,
Russell Crowe.
yes,
This is going to be a Russell Crowe love fest.
it is a Russell Crowe love fest. I do love him too. I don't always love his work, but he's always great, no matter what the movie may
Mm,
be.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
sure.
so.
I
I think so.
will. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I've seen enough to see a piece of garbage that he's been in, but yeah, I'm sure they're out there. I mean, yeah. He's not Nick Cage level of like notoriety where it's like I'm gonna watch it because he's in it, but it's
Sure.
definitely gonna help. Not as much as a Nick Cage, but a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I think it's a similar feel. So
All
let me
right.
jump into
Yeah,
it
yeah,
then,
yeah.
okay? All right.
Let's see what
The
we're talking
Pope's
about.
Exorcist. Whew. Follow Gabriel Amorth, the Vatican's leading exorcist, as he investigates the possession of a child and uncovers a conspiracy the Vatican has tried to keep secret. This is directed by Julius Avery, written by three people here: Michael Petroni, Evan Greek name, and Dean McCreary. This is starring Russell Crowe, Daniel Zovato, and Alexandra Esso. So, look, long story short, this stars Russell Crowe. This is a Russell Crowe movie. You have no reason to watch it unless you're interested in watching Russell Crowe. And that is plenty of reason to watch The Pope's Exorcist. In fact, I would say that this is probably the only reason anyone watched The Pope's Exorcist is simply because Russell Crowe is wearing a priest's uniform and seemingly going to perform exorcisms. This sounds like a slam dunk. I'm watching it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was right there. Up until actually watching it. I was. I was ready. I was ready to ride along.
Hop on that Vespa,
Yeah, yeah. Hop on
get
that
ready to
Vespa.
watch the Italian countryside.
Yeah, I really love the writer. Greek name. He's really good.
Yeah, I apologize,
That's
Mr. Let's see, Spiliotopoulos. Spiliopoulos. It's like a
Spiliopodilus.
dinosaur almost. I should know that. I'm good with dinosaurs,
Right.
but this
You have
isn't
you have
Brachiosaurus.
two young boys. I mean,
I could
that
say
should be
dinosaur names till I'm blue in the face, dude. I'm good at those, and so are
yeah.
they. But it's all Greek to me, man. That is
All
the saying,
right.
isn't it?
Yes,
It's
that is the
Greek. It's
saying.
not
It
some
is
other
the saying.
language.
That's
Okay.
why
Okay.
I was still laughing. Okay.
Hey, speaking of Greek, big fat Greek weddings. Hey,
Hey,
that's not topical anymore. I'm sorry, it's too old. Old news. Let's move
actually,
on.
did you see the trailer for the new one? It's like the
Yes, I
third
did.
or fourth in the series. I don't know.
That guy's head is just too big to be on screen. Even the woman's head. They're massively large-headed people.
I can't
Now,
believe that
I
they're
have a
both
big
still
head.
alive. All right. Cue the ominous music,
Okay.
folks, because the Pope's exorcist tries in vain to sprinkle some holy water on the horror genre. Russell Crowe plays Father Gabriel Amorth, the Pope's go-to exorcist, and the film takes us through his journey confronting demons, both literal and metaphysical. We've got a seemingly possessed boy in Spain, old abbey secrets, and internal church politics to boot. And whatever you just did took my light and my script away.
Uh,
Hey, there it
and we're
is.
back.
There we and we're back. Okay. I think I'll just pick up where I left off. I don't need to start over.
Yes. No, yeah.
The movie attempts to navigate between the realms of faith, skepticism, and supernatural chaos. While some elements, like the sealed-off demonic chambers in the abbey, add intrigue, the film at times feels a bit overburdened with backstory. And that ending? It felt a lot more like a setup for a Morth and Esquibel demon hunter duo buddy cop movie rather than a satisfying conclusion to the story. All in all, if you're looking for a touch of horror with a side of Vatican, give it a watch. But if you are after genuine spine tingling frights, you might need to pray for something a little better. I give it a middling 5 out of 10.
Hey, that's not half bad. Could be
It's
worse.
it's exactly half good.
It's close to that, yeah. I guess you're right. So gosh, Nate, I mean, what to say that hasn't already been said? Um, let's just get real. It's Russell Crowe in a priest outfit riding a Vespa. And the film delivers on that promise. And yes, it is overburdened with all of the garbage story that they think that they need to tell. And it's kind of a bit of a MacGuffin with the way that they lead into the story because right away they're going to do a couple 80s classics and poppy type music that you're like, whoa, this movie's kind of like aware that it's trying to do things a certain way. And you're like, great, if it continues this vibe, that'll be cool. But it doesn't. It lets that go as soon as those two songs. They could only afford those two songs. They could only afford 15 seconds of it. They used it. They're done. They're moving on. You will never hear anything fun after that point. And that's fine. But to your point, it just bogs down with the story. It's too much story. It's too much backstory. And you just want to see Russell Crowe get into it and exercise demons. It started with a great one, and then it just you're waiting for it to happen with this story, with this boy and this Abby and this other demons that has this vendetta against the Vatican and Russell Crowe.
Yeah, against him
Uh,
specifically. I don't know.
yes, him specifically because of the girl that he was with and his failure to save her. I can't even remember all the details as far as her suicide pact that she had. The devil obviously being involved in this in some kind of way, but what's so frustrating ultimately with this movie is that it's like a tease the whole time because then at the end they have the showdown and where you're kind of like thinking like that it I don't know your description may be like you're not a big fan of it. I wish that that energy and that insanity was the movie and not this tease at the end. This was Van Helsing going down underground and getting all the tools. Now, Van Helsing was awful. Hugh Jackman and Van Helsing, that's a garbage movie. I fully am aware that that's true. But that was cool to see all this other underground stuff that's happening behind the scenes with whomever hunting monsters in the world. That's what The Exorcist did, seemingly under the Vatican, where now there's this whole army of priests that are hunting demons in the world and all the fantastical metaphysical things that are happening are like just fact and cool and let's figure it out. The battle at the end was satisfying. The words that were going back and forth, and Russell Crowe finally coming out as the victor in the battle just worked at the end that it saved it for me. Where ultimately I was entertained, but it definitely did a good job of trying to lull me to sleep throughout all of that just to get to that end noise, which I enjoyed. So ultimately, and it feels weird saying this because of other things that I know I've rated recently, but I'm landing with the Pope's Exorcist at a sixorcist, uh, sixorcist out of 10.
Exorcist.
And I feel weird saying that because I don't think it deserves it, but I had fun, and that's worth something.
So I'll join you. I'll join you for that first 15, 20 minutes where I was like, "Oh dang. This
Yeah, it was
movie this movie
tricky.
might be really good."
Had a couple cool drops of music, and then and like the cool look.
Yeah. But I fell off the Vespa and I couldn't get back on.
Yeah. He meets with him early on, and he's like, and the nun's like, can I coffee, senor? And she's like, at this time of day, give me an espresso. And you're like, oh, that's so funny. Yes, I love it. He hates the man, and he is the man, but he's doing the Lord's work. It was great,
Yeah, yeah. He
but
was
the
he
energy
was
just
like
got sucked out of the room.
the priest that was too cool to be in the
I
priesthood.
know.
My local bishop is the Pope. If you have a problem with me, you talk to my boss.
Like he's meeting before all the heads of the priesthood, and
Hmm.
he's like this one, this chump, and that was the American, right? He was the one without an accent.
In English, Father Amor.
And he was the one who was like sent
Mm,
over as the representation of the of
yeah.
across the ocean.
The new order, right? And
Yeah,
like, we don't do exorcisms anymore. That's in the
yeah,
past. You're a
right.
fossil. But he knows better.
Yeah,
It was ultimately just like, someone had to write a movie and there had to be a story. And it's just like, yeah, it just got lost
yeah. They were all
because
over
they
the
just
place.
stuck to it.
They were
Hmm.
like let's throw these like eight ideas at the board, and we'll just go with whatever sticks. And they all stuck, and they were like, "All right, let's do
We're doing it all. Yeah.
it.
All right.
We'll do it live." And they wrote the whole thing, and at
Yeah.
the end they were like, "Is this
Too
too
much.
long? Is this too long?" No, no,
Yeah,
I don't think
dude,
it's too
hour
long. Let's...
43?
Yeah, it wasn't
I
even
mean,
that
for a
long.
movie of this caliber, that is not a good idea. Woof.
Yeah,
Woof. Yeah, I mean, and it's like, yeah, you don't realize what you've got. It's just Russell Crowe. Just kind of make it over the top. Make it like Drag Me to Hell, have that
right,
tongue in cheek,
right.
like other movies, like James Wan type movies.
Yeah,
Even, because this is just such a well trodden territory. Any kind of spiritual type possession or demon type thing, this has been done a million times. You're not reinventing the wheel, so
yeah.
just go in with the craziness of it,
I
which
want Ru-
clearly has worked.
I want Russell Crowe to walk in to a room with a possessed dude. He's got the crucifix in his hand. He punches the dude in the chest with the crucifix, and the demon just poof out the back into like
Sure.
particles. And you're just
I
like,
don't want. I don't
just
want
like
to turn
yes,
into a
yes,
Jamie
Russell
Foxx
Crowe.
vampire movie. Like that's the trouble is if you go too far, then you get Jamie Foxx vampire movie,
Oh my
and
God,
that was
that movie was fucking
hot
terrible.
garbage.
We didn't review that, did we? We thought it was
No, of
so
course
bad.
we didn't because we know better.
Daybreak.
No one wants to talk about it. It was horrendous.
I can't believe I remember
But
the
that's
name
what
of
you
it.
would get. Yeah, Daybreak I think is correct.
Yeah,
Like that's what would happen if you went too far. You can't go full retard.
right.
That's what that movie did. Jamie Foxx
Yeah.
is like, oh, am I in Ray again? Holy shit. So look.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I think this is just a pass. Like for me,
yeah.
like I can't say watch it if you like Russell Crowe, watch it if you like cheesy action horror, because it kind of does one, but then it flip flops to being serious and like saturating you with backstory
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the
you don't
church and the
care because you know
exorcisms
it's
of
absurd.
old, and you're just like,
Stakes
okay,
don't
I mean,
exist.
yeah, right. There's no stakes either, right? Like,
There's no
it's
real emotional connection to anything because it's all so convoluted and silly that you don't care. And it drags out so much in the middle. Intro great, long middle, and
long
then
middle,
like
and
final 30 maybe is
the
fun.
the fight at the end was good. You
Yeah,
know,
I enjoyed the fight at the end, and then the revelation of everything else was fantastic. It's it's too overdone of a theme. All the tropes and everything. This is where the Exorcist movie is going to be coming out, and Insidious 5, and like all these other films that are in the same kind of demon possession. Blah, 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 blah. I'm so tired of it as a genre. There's nothing. I would love to see something new, but I am so doubtful. This was just weird. I mean, I don't get it. Russell Crowe is a treasure, but man, he
yeah.
couldn't save it. He did a great job, but
Oh,
there was not enough of him doing
yeah,
his job.
like forget about what we've said about the movie. His performance, the Italian accent.
Yeah.
I mean, he
I don't
just
even know if it's a good Italian accent. I don't know Italian accents
yeah,
well enough.
right.
Don't care.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. His character, the way he chose to do what he did was perfect.
Yeah.
And that's the shining star on this 5 out of 10.
Yeah. If you're interested in an actual masterpiece by Russell Crowe, I suggest you watch The Nice Guys.
Oh yes, that movie is excellent.
Fantastic.
So I gave it a 5
I landed at a 6. Sixercist for me.
from Exorcist from the Rodster, and that'll do it for this episode. I'm Nate Roberts,
I'm Rodney Godek. Take care.
and we'll see you next time.
You never breastfed me, mommy!